Hello everyone. Today our group will talk about the aging population here in Seoul and how the elderly-friendly urban design impacts the seniors' mobility and accessibility. So, the South Korea is experiencing one of the fastest aging population globally. As the number of elderly citizens rises, the need for environment that cater to their unique requirements become urgent. In Seoul here, the vibrant capital, the effects of this demographic shift are significant. Like the older adults strive to maintain their independence, necessitating urban environments that support their needs, particularly in transportation, public space, and the community facilities. So according to the Korean Statistical Information Service, the percentage of the population aged that 15 to 64 is gradually increasing, while those aged 65 and older are rising sharply. Like as shown on the figure on the right, the projection suggests that the elderly population will comprise a substantial portion of the total population, with younger age group declining. So, as defined by the United Nations, a super-age society is one where over 20% of the population is aged 65 or older. South Korea is moving toward this status, with Seoul alone accounting for more than 19% of the total super-age population. Additionally, the city offers extensive big data on public transportation. That's why we choose to focus on Seoul, but not other regions in Korea. So for the urban design, it plays really a crucial role in improving elderly mobility and accessibility. First, it can enhance safety, like the design environment with well-lit pathway and secure pedestrian crossing, like to protect the seniors. It can also encourage engagement of the elderly. It can create a accessible park and community centers that motivate the seniors to engage in outdoor activities more often. Like third, it can facilitate their travel. Like the implement of clear signage and public transport option can ensure the seniors to navigate confidently without any confusion. And lastly, it can promote inclusivity. Like it can develop age-friendly environments that incorporate universal design principles, making spaces accessible for all. So now the key question is, how does Seoul address the need of the elderly population through urban design? Like what kind of existing elderly friendly designs are available here?
So, after recognizing the importance of the elderly-friendly designs that will influence the mobility of the elderly, so what is the existing situation in Seoul? Using the most hostile public transportation subway in Seoul as an example, here are some of the elderly-friendly designs and facilities that appear in subway in Seoul, like the accessible lift, the wheelchair access gate, and some of the wheelchair lifts that leads to the staircase, and so forth. But is this really enough or appear everywhere in Seoul? Then are they appear on all the stations in Seoul, or are you really can find them all in every station in Seoul? Then seems to be not. Especially for the older station, you are hard to find the wheelchair lift or even none. And most of the stations are hard to find the metro staff to help you open a portal plate to fill the gap. So another example shown here, are there really enough accessible ramp for the disability on the public streets? Is it so hard for them to travel without this designs and facilities? So, however, compared to other Asian cities which are facing similar aging problem as Seoul, they have relatively mature system on building the barrier-free access. For example, in Hong Kong, there are refined guidelines and strict regulation on setting this design and facilities. Even they have the best performance setting guidelines besides the basic regulations, so that you can see the BFA everywhere in Hong Kong that will convince the elderly to go everywhere. So like the photo shows here, they are easy to find the press that call the staff in the subway to help you use the proto plate in advance in every station in Hong Kong. Therefore, under the problem that we have find out, we'd like to do a research on it. So, our objective of this study is to investigate the relationship between the urban design facilities and the elderly mobility and accessibility to determine how important of the design that will influence the mobility and accessibility of elderly. Then we'll evaluate the existing elderly-friendly urban designs and facilities in Seoul to identify the strength and weakness of the existing current designs and to evaluate if it is adequate or not. So if it is really not enough, how can we ameliorate and improve the whole system? So we'd like to take two Asian cities as case study which are facing similar situation, namely Hong Kong and Tokyo, to see that what and how they have done to alleviate the problems. And under this kind of urban design suggestions based on the case studies, papers, and some of the surveys and interview to propose some new designs and policy in Seoul so that in order to enhance the mobility and accessibility for the elderly.
Next, I will be talking about the methodologies, and to explore how Seoul's urban design affects elderly mobility, we will use literature review, field observations, surveys, and comparative analysis. These methods will help us gather qualitative and quantitative data to answer our research question, and we aim to develop a comprehensive understanding of how Seoul's urban design impacts elderly mobility. First, we will conduct a literature review by analyzing government reports, urban planning studies, and academic papers on elderly mobility in Seoul. This will help us understand the current policies and identify existing challenges and progress. And we will also examine international case studies to compare Seoul's approach with other aging-friendly cities. Next, we will conduct field observations in key locations such as subway stations, neighborhoods with highly elderly populations. During these observations, we will assess infrastructure features like ramps, crosswalk signals, and resting areas to determine how well they support elderly mobility. Additionally, we plan to conduct surveys or interviews with elderly residents to gain first-hand insights into their mobility challenges, daily travel habits, and perceptions of urban accessibility. Finally, we will conduct a comparative analysis by examining how Seoul's urban mobility strategies compare with those of other aging-friendly cities such as Tokyo and Hong Kong. And by studying best practices from other cities, we can identify effective solutions that could be applied to Seoul to improve mobility for the elderly. Next is the expected findings. And based on our research methodologies, we expect to uncover key challenges and trends in elderly mobility within Seoul's urban design. So, uneven distribution of elderly friendly infrastructure, pedestrian improvements such as wider sidewalks and longer crosswalk signals may be concentrated in central areas, leaving suburban regions underserved, making mobility more challenging for seniors in those regions. And second, um, underutilization of smart city initiatives. So in Korea, AI-powered apps and IoT-based traffic signals show potential, but digital literacy barriers may prevent many elderly residents from fully benefiting, and our research may reveal a need for better education and support systems for to bridge this gap. Next, we believe that there is a growing demand for community-based mobility solutions. Our research will likely show that many elderly citizens rely on informal community networks for mobility assistance, while initiatives like silver zones and volunteer mobility programs are helpful, but they may not be widespread or well integrated into official urban policies. And there might be also policy gaps and while Seoul has policies aimed at improving elderly mobility, we expect that to find gaps in coordination between transportation, housing, and healthcare planning. Overall, our research will provide valuable insights into how Seoul can enhance its urban planning policies and community initiatives to create a more accessible and age-friendly city. So, in conclusion, our research highlights progress and challenges in Seoul's urban design for elderly mobility. While improvements in public transportation, pedestrian infrastructure, and smart city initiatives have made a positive impact, as accessibility gaps remain, especially in older districts. We anticipate that digital solutions may be underutilized due to tech barriers and that community-based supporters like server zones needs expansion. So to create a truly inclusive city, Seoul must adopt a more integrated approach combining transportation, urban planning, and social policies. And this is it for our presentation, and thank you for listening.